Rain on the Roof by Kinney by Class 9, poem number 3 in their subject English, preparing percentage by VTR. Rain on the Roof. About the poet, Kinney was born on 24th November 1826 near Pena, New York, US, and died on 25th January 1904, Ohio, US. His works like Kyuka at 1855, Lyrics of the Ideal and the Real in 1888, Mist of Fire, a trilogy and some eclogues in 1899, and Rain on the Roof, a poem by this writer. According to his occupation, he was an American lawyer, a politician, a journalist, and poet who wrote a poem, Rain on the Roof. During the 19th century, he was at various times a wistful and skillful poet. One of his most famous poems, written in 1849, was the lilting and haunting The Rain on the Roof. It could be said that this poem established the names of Kinney as a popular poet. Of his verses, The Rain on the Roof, which was set to music, was most popular. So, this poem is considered to be a lyric poem. It means a formal type of poetry which expresses personal emotions or feelings. That means you can sing this lyrics in the form of a song. So this poem comes under the category lyrical poem. His other works we have discussed. Here is a glimpse of the other works: Mist of Fire, a trilogy and some eclogues, and Lyrics of the Ideal and Real, Kyuka and other poems, and Rain on the Roof, a poem by this writer, Kinney. Here you can find the original script of the poem, Rain on the Roof. Here you can able to read Ohio the legislature. His best known poem, Rain on the Roof, called one of America's famous lyrics, was recast a few years ago, but many prefer the old version given below. So here you can find the old version of the poem Rain on the Roof, having 6 stanzas. Okay, total 6 stanzas. Here it is a new version of the 6th stanza of the poem Rain on the Roof, but according to your book, you have only prescribed 3 stanzas for your study purpose. So we will only discuss about the first 3. So in this poem we come to know that the first paragraph the poet tried to describe about the climatic condition and the condition of the poet, the emotion, the physical condition, and the mental condition of the poem, as well as the condition of the nature, is discussed in the first stanza. In the second stanza, we come to know that the sounds, different type of sounds created by the rain, evokes the dream in the mind of the poet, is discussed in the second stanza. In the third stanza, we come to know that in the dream, the writer, poet, is able to recall the image of his mother and his sister and brother are considered as the darling dreamers in the stanzas. And each drop of the rain evokes these remembrances in the mind of the writer. And in the fourth stanza, he talks about the seraph sister and the serene angelical pair, the cherub brother, sister and brother, how they used to stand among this poet and how they spend the days is discussed in the fourth stanza of this poem. And the fifth stanza, here he recovers the blue-eyed girl he not able to forget, whom he tried to love her, but it ended in pain. That is also discussed in the fifth stanza. And the sixth stanza, the poet tries to say that the rain on the roof, the drops that falling on the roof, evokes all the emotions, evokes or recalls all the emotions in the mind of the writer, and it is overflowing in the form of a fountain, and it makes his mind and heart pure and calm and peace by having a nice sleep in the dream. So this is the whole poem having 6 stanzas. But according to your study purpose, you are only prescribed first three stanzas for your CBSE exam purpose. So here we are going to discuss only the first three stanzas for you for your study purpose. Introduction of the poem. You know that poems that perfectly capture the beauty of rain is poem. A poet is in his bedroom and lying in his bed. It's night time because he expressing the words like starry spears. So it depicts that it's a night time and it has begun to rain. The poet hears the patter of rain on shingles of the roof. The comfort and coziness of his bed reminds him of his mother. A poet expresses his love for nature and praises the beauty of nature in this first stanza. And the other stanzas we come across, the poem presents the memories aroused in the poet's mind by the showers falling on the wooden or tin roof. So in the poem, the poet never mentioned what type of roof it is. He just give a clue. It's a shingles, that means tiles. So it may be a wooden tile or a tin tile, okay, tin roof, or made of mud tiles. Okay, so wooden or tin roof or mud roof, shingles here, the tiles. So through a number of metaphors, the poet shows that the drops of the rain falling on the shingles of the roof made a musical. A patter of rain produced a train of thoughts running in his mind. He is reminded of the way his mother used to bid him and his siblings a good night and put them to sleep. The poet connects the past through the memories revived by the rain in this poem. This is just an introduction here. Now we are entering into the poem, The Rain on the Roof by Kinney. Central idea or theme of this poem. The poet exhibits that the rain brings the poet maximum happiness when he is lost in dream, and so many fancies go on revolving in his mind. He loves the pattering of soft rain on the roof. So the theme of the poem is represents the healing power of the rain. That means the rain soothes and comforts an overworked mind by taking it back to its lovely past. The sound of rain appears to create bliss to the poet. Bliss means happiness to the poet. So in the first stanza of the poem, it reveals that it is a pleasant to lie on the bed in a cottage and listen to the pitter patter sound on a rainy night. And the second stanza, it represents the tinkle of the rain brings dreamy fancies with bright hues of recollections in the mind of the poet. And the third stanza, the fondest memory of his mother is stilled before him in all her gentle loveliness by the patter of the rain. Sound evokes, recalls the memory of the image of his mother in the last stanza that prescribed in your book. This is the first stanza for you. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. So here you come across hover, spheres and darkness. Here you find that hover if you are giving A, spheres for B, and darkness C. They are not matching. Okay, so we are giving C. And you find tears. The spheres is matching with tears, so we are giving B. And pillow is not matching. Bed is not matching. And patter not matching. Overhead. So bed and head is having a matching. So there we are giving E and E. So the poetic scheme, the rhythm rhyme scheme is produced from the first stanza is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. So this is a rhyme scheme of the first stanza. So hover, humid shadows here represents the cloud. Hover means it's flying, it's having a flight in the sky. And humid here represents sometimes moisture, but in this poem it represents the water-laden clouds which cover the sky before it rains. And starry spheres means nighttime earth, especially the sky here, or a clear sky illuminated by the millions of stars. Okay. And melancholy means sad, and bliss means happiness. Chamber here represents a room, and cottage means house or home. So in your house we will have a chamber bed, that means bedroom. And patter is the sound of raindrops falling on a tin or wooden or a mud roof here, okay, made of mud. So this is a stanza, first stanza, having the rhyme scheme A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Okay, you can find the shingles here, the rain falling on the shingles here, and the poet is having a nice sleep. Now we are going to get the explanation of the first stanza. At night, dark clouds cover the sky. It rains gently, and the poet tells that it is pleasant to live and sleep, or lie on his cozy or snugly in a bed, listening to the patter of soft rain on the roof. He thinks it is bliss to hear the patter of the rain on the roof. He enjoys the sound of the raindrops, the melody of nature. That means here the poet used the humid shadows and the melancholy darkness, which are stand for the dark clouds here. Okay. The poet imagines that the clouds covering the sky, which is full of stars, and creates a state of depression. Poet further imagines that the clouds are weeping in a gentle manner, and their tears are falling down as a raindrops. So he compares the raindrops with the tears. Though the nature created a sad, a dull mood or climate, the poet loves rain as it brings his memories back, and he feels it's bliss to hear the patter of the rain on the roof because the sound made him lost in reveries. Or you can say, as the dark clouds begin to move in starry regions of the sky, there is sadness felt by the sky and is seen in the form of a rain. Drops which are like the tears shed by the sky. So the poet tries here, the cloud is shedding the tears. The cloud is crying. The cry is appearing in the form of a rain and it touches the earth here. Okay. That means the cloud shedding the tears, it appears in the form of a rain from the sky. So to the poet, the natural phenomena is a great bliss as he lies on his bed. So pressing the pillow and listening to the patter of the soft rain on the cottage roof. So here you can find the starry spheres here, the clouds which is hovering in the humid shadows. They are covering the whole sky and making a dull, a melancholy form, and that create mood for the poet to have a nice sleep in his bed in the bedroom. That is depicted in the first stanza. Now second stanza. Every tingle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy beings start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into roof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. So here you find heart, start, having match, woof, roof, it's having match, and other words you'll find it's not have matching with the other words here. So no rhyme scheme for the other words here. So we are giving shingles A, heart B, fancies C, start and heart matching. So we are giving B, recollections D, woof E, patter F, and roof again matching with move, so E. So the rhyme scheme for the second stanza is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Okay. So tinkle here means the sound of the raindrops falling on the shingles. Okay, here you find the shingles here. These are considered the shingles and the raindrops are falling on the shingles and it evokes a sound. Okay, shingles means a rectangular wooden tiles used for roof, for covering the roof purpose. Echo. Echo here means repeated sound in heart or mind of the poet here. Okay. Dreamy fancies means the good childhood pictures as a dream or past childhood record and memories is appearing in the form of a dream. And weave means a fabric or baskets. Okay, make a fabric or baskets by passing the thread or form a story from a different elements. That means each and every picture that appearing in the mind of the writer at the time of sleeping, it making a picture. It is making a thread. It is making a continuous picture and it recollects all the recorded materials in his mind in the form of a dream at the time of sleeping. So woof here means weft, that is the thread woven across the loom. We use these words for weaving purpose. Okay, weave, woof, they are for weavers. Weavers use this weaving or woof. These are the words used for weaving a thread. The thread continuously, if you woof or weave, what happen? You will get a fine fabric, a fine cloth. Here, the poet having the dream continuous with the different pictures and different images, and he started to collect the different pictures and make a new story. Okay, the different elements that appear in the dream changes into a story. It gives a beautiful picture of the past. So the poet in the second stanza tried to listen to the sound of the rain lying in his cozy bed. Every tingle means every drop on the roof echoes in his heart. Every drop that touches the roof try to recall some images in the mind of the writer while listening to the sound of the rain when he able to hear the sound of the rain. So his mind is flooded with the memories as thousand dreamy fancies. He recollects the memories of his childhood. He recollects the memories of the childhood. So the falling of the raindrops on the tiles of the roof creates a musical effect which echoes the thrill of his heart. It makes a heartbeat. Okay, it is rhythm with the heartbeat. He goes into the daydreaming. That means innumerable fancies begin to throng the hair, heart and the mind and bringing out so many memories associated with his past experiences. So he listens to the patter of the rain on the roof of his cottage with feelings of joy. He tries to feel very happy after getting the recollections in his mind. Each images are continuously moving in the mind and it creates a fabric. It creates a story in the mind. It creates a clear picture, a past picture in the mind of the poet is described by seeing that scene. The poet feels very happy. The feeling of the joy is expressed in the second stanza because of the thousand collection dreamy fancies collections. Now we are entering into the third stanza. Now in memory comes my mother as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Here you find mother, no match, a gone and dawn is matching. So we are giving B, dreamers C, okay. And refrain and rain is having a matching. So we are giving E and E here, singles F and dawn dreamers B. So the rhyme scheme for the third stanza is again A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. That means agon, dawn matching, and refrain and rain matching. Okay, so agon means archaic word for ago, that is gone by or past. You can say past. Agon means he passed. Regard means look steadily at. The mother's look is very steady towards the poet. Darling dreamers here, the poet, his brother and sister, or the children, those who dreams of their mother like the poet. Air means old poetic word for before. Dawn means the first appearance of light in the morning or of a day beginning. Fond look here means a facial appearance with a affection or liking for the mother's fond look, isn't it? The mother is looking steadily at the child in the dream. List here means listen or pay attention to a sound or dream connections listed here. Okay, refrain means a repeated part of a song or a poem here. Sound of raindrops repeated evokes a dream in the mind of the poet. Okay, it evokes a dream in the mind of the poet, and in the dream he is able to find the image of his mother, the mother's eyes having a fond look towards the writer. Even he, the poet, and the darling dreamers, that is their brother and sisters, are running towards the mother when he able to hear the sound of the pitter patter sound of the rain on the roof. So in the third stanza, a single major memory that comes to the poet is the face of his mother when she used to tuck him in his bed. He remembers his mother and recalls how his mother used to tell him stories while putting him to bed as a child. The poet has very fond memories of his mother looking after him and his siblings while they were asleep. She was very particular to tuck her children in their beds and visit them after they had fallen asleep to check that they were sleeping comfortably or not. So the author admired this habit of his mother. This shows that he loved his mother very much. So at this time, there comes a fresh memory of his mother. He remembers her benevolent looks as she used to leave him alone in sweet dreams of sleep till dawn. The poet cherishes her love and sweet looks as he listened to the patter of the rain on the roof of his cottage. Where you can find the dream. You may imagine the mother and the brother and the siblings of the writer. He is in the dream. He is recollecting these images in the dream, and the mother's look is also described in the dream. The mother is very fond of looking at their darling dreamers, but till it is not continued because it vanished within a second because it's a dream. It's not stayed there. Okay, that remembers that recalls that gives the idea a clue that the mother is not alive now. So the poet is recalling the memory of the mother in the dream. Okay. The poetic device or literary elements we used in the poem. Alliteration is used. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sounds. In stanza 1, humid hover, H, her sound is repeated. Starry spears, S is repeated. Press the pillow, P sound is repeated. Cottage timber, K sound is repeated. Lie listening, L sound is repeated. In stanza number 1, the same manner alliteration is repeated in the stanza 2. In the words like busy being, B sound is repeated. Their threads, th sound is repeated. Rain, roof, R sound is repeated in stanza number 2. And stanza number 3, the alliteration used in these phrases like memory, my mother, M. So M, the word, the letter M is repeated. Darling dreamers, D, D is repeated. feel the fond, the feel, fur, F sound is repeated in the stanza number 3. So alliteration technique, a poetic device or literary element is used in the 3 stanzas of this poem. Next technique is onomatopoeia. That means sound words similar to the noises they describe. For example, patter sound is expressed here. Pitter patter, we use this sound for of raindrops that touches the any roof or any land. When the raindrops drop, it touches any surface, it creates a sound. So here patter sound is used. Likewise, tinkle sound is used when the sound of the raindrops on the shingles. Shingles means tiles. When the raindrop touches the tiles, it produces a tinkle sound. So the onomatopoeia technique is used in the stanzas, first and second stanza. Even third stanza, the patter sound is again used. So onomatopoeia, the sound words are used in this poem. Third technique is personification. Personification means human characteristics to abstract things. That means living things characteristics to non-living things. For example, melancholy darkness. Melancholy means sad, and darkness here, the darkness is given, darkness is personified, it is given a nature of a human. Sad darkness means human have the sadness, the feeling sadness appear for human. The sad feeling is given to the shape of the word darkness. So the word darkness is personified here. Next sentence you find thousand recollections. Recollections here personified because the people appearing in that dream, recollected in the dream as personified, given a shape as a human, a living word they have given, created. So recollection is personified as a living here. Next one is transferred epithet. That means adjective is transferred to a different noun, or adjective usually used to describe one thing is transferred to another. For example, here melancholy darkness. Darkness is an adjective and melancholy means sad. Sad represents the people. Okay, the people's sadness, they have used transferred the epithet into melancholy darkness. And the gently weeps. Who weeps? Actually, human beings weeps, isn't it? But the human weeps is changed, transferred to the darkness, sad darkness. Okay, the darkness of the cloud, the sadness of the cloud makes to cry the cloud, and it falls in the form of a raindrop. So here transfer epithet is used. Next technique, transfer epithet used in the next stanza as dreamy fancies. Who dreams? People, isn't it? And fancies means here people, those who try to dream, you call them as fancies. So people try to have the dream in their mind. So people's dream is converted into fancies, dreamy fancies. So transferred epithet is used in this second stanza too. And third one is a rhyming scheme, that is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. This is the rhyme scheme for the whole 3 stanzas that we come across in this poem. So I hope you have understood the literary or poetic device that I have used in this poem. Okay. And the rain on the roof, I hope you understand the first 3 stanza clearly. In the first stanza, the writer tries to describe the climatic condition outside, the night time, the clouds that hovering, it is carrying the water carrying the clouds, and it starts raining. So the writer imagines that the cloud is crying, and that crying water is appear in the form of a rain to the earth. Okay, so in the same manner, the writer's mind is also expressed in the first stanza. The writer is also in that type of condition, but still this rain gives a pleasant joy in the mind of the writer, because he has the chance to recall the memories back in the first stanza. In the second stanza, what we come across, the sounds, the different sounds created by the raindrops. It the rhythm of the raindrops created a continued process in the mind of the poet, so that the poet able to dream in the sleep. So in the dream, the writer collects 1,000 collections of pictures, and it started into a these different pictures and different moments that recorded in the mind of the writer changes into a story that they have passed in the past experience of the writer. It's appearing in the mind. It make a continuous thread like form. Continuously this picture moves in the mind, and it creates a picture of a story, create a scenic of past recorded moments in the mind of the writer. And the third stanza, in that pictures, among these pictures, he able to see the picture of image of the mother. The mother looks as it is when they were remained as a child, and the poet is now in the form of adult, but in the dream he is appearing in the form of a child. He is not alone. He was accompanied by the brothers and sisters of the poet, so he considered them as a darling dreamers. They are waiting for the mother, and the mother's eyes is looking towards the children, and they try to tug the mother, but the dream, the image of the mother is vanishing slowly and vanished fully in the dream. That means it given a clue that now the mother is not alive. Now the mother is not alive. That's why the dream of a poet carries the mother's face and the fond look that towards the children. Okay, so it really depicts that the writer, the poet, really loves the mother very much. So all these images, all these past memories are recollected continuously by the writer in the dream, all because of the rhythmic musical tone created by the falling of the raindrops on the roof. So this is about the poem. I hope you have understand this poem. If you think it's okay, give a like and subscribe it. Thank you.